Hey everyone, welcome to Fast Forward, the show where we sit down with founders, creatives, and big thinkers building what's next. Today's guest is Taylor Adams, co-founder of The Agency, a content and influencer marketing firm helping lifestyle brands and creators grow their voice online. We talk about building campaigns that actually convert, turning clients into thought leaders, and what it really takes to stand out on social in 2025. Let's dive in. Well, I'm glad to have you on.
Yeah. Thanks so
You
much
are
for having
officially
me.
my second guest.
Woo!
So
That's
just getting started.
awesome. Good for you. That's
Um,
fantastic.
yeah, it's fun. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while. And yeah, it's cool to get positive feedback after you get outreach people on
Yeah.
email and kind of get going there. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Podcasting is so fun. I had my own podcasts back in the day and
okay,
I
nice.
definitely miss it.
Did you have a specific topic or did you just kind of
Yes.
broad?
So I had two podcasts. The first one was a true crime podcast that was very fun, and that was during the pandemic. And then I had a podcast that was similar to this in that it was focused on women who were investing in themselves in some way. So whether like starting businesses or they were like doing something with money. And so we were interviewing them in a very similar style.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much you can do these days
Oh
in
my
terms of
gosh.
topics, and I like this one because I come from a family of entrepreneurs, and
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like the stories we had growing up about family and their business success stories and things, and they kind of teach you personal and business lessons.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people that are considering doing it to learn from people who are actually in it now.
100%. No, I completely agree.
And that's kind of the inspiration behind me doing it. So.
That's awesome. Good
Yeah.
for you. Well,
It's
I'm so
called the Fast
excited.
Forward Podcast, and,
Fast Forward podcast.
yeah, number 2. So,
Woohoo!
let's have some fun. What inspired you to start the agency, and what did those, like, early months look like when you first began?
Yeah, absolutely. So back in 2019, I had left my W-2 job to focus on my husband and my businesses. And very shortly thereafter, the world shut down. I was 4 months pregnant with my daughter.
Oh, man.
And I was kind of like, what am I going to do now? And so I kind of accidentally fell into the world of influencer marketing. So I started working as a creator, originally in kind of the lifestyle mom space, because that's where I was in my life. And then I moved into the finance real estate space because that was, the other side of my business.
Okay.
And then I got really sick and tired of talking about money, and I moved into the home and DIY space. And during that time, I was managed by a few different talent agencies, and for various reasons, they just were not a good fit for me. So I ended up going back to self-managing. And then my best friend, Megan, who is now my business partner, she had a transition in her career in biotech. And I was like, girl, I am drowning in brand deals. I'm drowning in emails. Can you please come help me for a
Yeah.
little bit? And so what we thought was going to be like 2 weeks turned into 6 months. We were doing really well. And some other creators in my circle started hearing what we were doing. And so they decided they wanted to join on with us. And so at that point, we rebranded as the creative agency. And at this point, we've grown to just around 35 creators. And we've hired, and, it's been wild. But really, the goal of all of this was to try and be the agency that I wish that I had had when I was going through that experience.
Mm-hmm.
And as a creator, try and take my experience that I even have now and apply that to what our creators are dealing with and try and kind of meet them where they are.
Right. So you were able to take your own experiences and turn it into something that you're helping people like yourself had been, what you
Yeah.
needed, and able to take it and make it a full-fledged business with a partner, with a
Yeah.
co-founder. Your co-founder is someone you've known, or
Yeah. So Megan and I met in college. So we've been friends for, almost 20 years at this point.
nice.
And we had a podcast together. We had a true crime podcast.
Oh, it was with her.
Yeah, it was with her.
Ah, okay, cool.
um, and yeah. And so we work really well together. There's only some people that you can live with. Megan is one of those people.
Yeah,
And I feel like there's only some people you can work with. And Megan is one of
that's
those people
definitely
for
true.
me. So yeah, so we kind of We really complement each other. She's currently on maternity leave right now.
Nice.
She just had a baby a couple weeks ago. And so she is definitely more of she tries to ground me when I am flying into the sky with my ideas. And she's our like hard-hitting negotiator for our creators, which I love. Yeah, so it's fun. We're like a really great balance for each other.
That's great. Turning the friendship into a business is something that I'm sure people would like to do sometimes, but doesn't
Yeah.
always make sense. That's cool that you guys were able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
That's awesome. When a brand or creator says we want to grow
Hmm.
or we want to get started, like we
Yeah.
want to catapult our in creator career, what do you look for first? And kind of what's your starting point for someone who says that to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as an agency, what we're really looking for is engagement. What does their engagement rate look like? How are they engaging with their current audience? Have they had brand deals in the past? And honestly, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you can get these brand deals? Because if you believe in you, then I believe in you. And like, let's do this. This is a partnership. For us, it's a lot less about follower count. There's some agencies who won't take on creators with under, like 100,000 followers,
Ah, okay.
but we're very flexible. Our smallest creator has 2,000 followers, but she kills it on
Hmm.
affiliate. Like that's their jam. They're so good at it. And then, some of our mid-tier creators are some of our highest earners. Follower count isn't a really great prediction of how well you're going to do in the industry. But for someone who's just getting started as a creator and they want to work with brands and eventually be managed, my biggest advice is one, obviously, like keep posting, keep doing that. But the thing that I always tell my creators, it's their homework pretty much every single month, is you need to be engaging with brands. You could have the best account possible, but if a brand doesn't know you exist, you're not going to get brand deals. So the homework that I give them, and if anyone listening is a creator and looking to grow their audience and work with brands, this is the homework I would give you, is create a list of 20 brands that you would love to work with, that you would love to feature on your channel, that you already have in your house. And for a month, I want you to engage with that brand. I want you to comment, like, respond to their stories because that's going to open a DM with them. And I want you to do that once a week, just once a week for a month with these brands. Then I want you to also be tagging them. Tag them in your reels, tag them in your TikToks, in your stories. Stories are a big one because what I like to do is, I'm making coffee in the morning. I'm talking to the camera and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm doing today. Well, guess what? Everything around me is a brand. What am I wearing? Like, what's my shirt? What's the paint color on my walls? What's the, microphone equipment that I'm using?
Sure.
And you tag it. Don't have to leave it on the screen, drag it off. But that's going to open a DM with those brands. And they're going to be like, who is this person? They keep talking about me. They keep tagging me. And do that for a month and then pitch them because now it's going to be very warm. They're going to notice you. They might even reach out to you before you pitch them. But it's a really great way to create that engagement. And some creators feel like, well, I don't want to like give away promotion.
Right.
And I want you to switch your mindset on that and think, this is my portfolio. This is how I'm building presence as a creator so that brands recognize me and I'm a really good brand partner. So that's kind of the advice I would give and some homework for anyone looking to work with brands. It's also great for podcasters looking for ads. Works the same way.
Yeah, it's just when you're getting started or when you're trying to develop your own brand, reaching out to the brands that you already have in your life that you use is a good way to get started.
Absolutely.
And continue to even as you develop.
100%.
Okay, good to know. I'll keep that in mind for myself.
Yeah, definitely do. It's very helpful for getting ad sponsors.
Nice. Like I have a Shure mic here, and that's something that
Exactly.
it's really cool and it's quality.
Cut it together, put it on Instagram, and then, tag away, tag everything.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Getting free advice today too. So you help clients become thought leaders in a sense. How do you help someone shape a message people actually care about?
It's a great question. So I think the first thing that we really ask creators to do is kind of reflect on, what are you trying to put out there? What do you enjoy doing? What do you want to showcase? And I think that's number one, because if you don't know what your target message, your target demographic, if you don't know what you're putting out there, everyone's going to be confused. And so I think getting really clear on who you are as a creator, what you're trying to get out there is absolutely step one. And then the other thing that you really need to do as far as getting your message out there and presenting whatever it is that you want others to see is be engaged in that community. Engage with not only the people following you, but also be engaged with people who are doing similar things to you. That is a really great way to grow and expand your message. For me, my biggest takeaway is always collaboration over competition. Find creators who are doing similar things to you. Figure out a way to work together. Can you collaborate on something? Can you, do a live together even and talk about something that you're really passionate about? There's so many ways that you can kind of grow and expand. And you just kind of need to take a step back and think about this more as like an ecosystem rather than just like head down. This is just me. Like because when you're talking to a phone or a camera all day, sometimes it does feel like it's just you, but it's not. It's beyond that.
Right. And outreach is huge for that. And finding a like-minded people will not only help you in your career, but it'll also make the day-to-day feel more like it's a team effort.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just, like you said, head down, nose to the grind, just putting content out there, hoping and fingers crossed that it works.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay, so it's been a little over 6 years with the agency, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. Is there anything that's working now specifically more than it was then in social media, or any types of channels that you use that people are leaning into more now, or something that's fading, or is it all kind of just, is it malleable? Is everything always changing? I'm sure it's hard to keep up with everything, but I mean, there are certainly channels that seem to be most prevalent.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So 100% things are always changing and you always have to keep up with everything. However, there are definitely some things we've noticed that have changed over the years. So the first thing for creators specifically, so there are these platforms called influencer marketing platforms, IMPs. And I like to think of them as like the Indeed for creators. It's basically a job board of campaigns that you can apply to. Back when I first started, IMPs were where it was at. Like that was how brands were getting campaigns out in front of creators. That's how they were working with them, especially smaller creators. That's how you were building up your portfolio. In recent years, that has been less so. And so instead of using those as the platform to find deals, brands are using that as their platform to host the campaign. A lot of time what happens is you'll go into those IMPs looking for a campaign that you could apply to and potentially work with as a creator. And there's either like a lot of deliverables or the payment is really, really low. And so it's not a super good fit for a lot of creators, basically over 10,000. And the brands instead are just using that as like a management tool. There have been, I will say though, in the last like month or so, some things have popped up on IMPs that are like what they used to be back in the day. And I'm like, are we making a return? So TBD on that. We'll see how that turns out. And then as far as platforms themselves, so it's kind of interesting because we get a sense of what brands are prioritizing based on what they're reaching out to us for campaigns. So right now we've been receiving a lot of YouTube requests, a lot of requests for shorts, for long form video, for integration into long form video, which is very interesting because with the creators that I have, a lot of them have smaller YouTube presence. And that was surprising to me that they were coming to creators who were smaller because typically in the past, they were really reaching out to some of those like larger YouTube creators. However, since the TikTok, blackout 24-hour shutdown, a lot of people made a migration to YouTube and brands recognize that. They also recognize YouTube as, a tried and true, like it's been around for a long time. TikTok's future is very up in the air. So they're much less willing to put big money behind some of these creators that are untested in their opinion. Instagram, as much as a lot of our creators are like, oh, do I have to do Instagram? Like Instagram's dead. And I'm like, listen.
Instagram is dead.
I know. That's what a lot of our creators think.
I never would have guessed that.
No, it's not. Because honestly, brands, in my experience, brands pay the most for Instagram because they see it as the most they see it as the most believable,
Right.
authentic. This is the platform where they believe in the most. So
Right.
even if that's strictly repurposing content, you kind of need to do that. So my biggest advice for somebody who is a creator and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many channels. How the heck do I do this? You don't, first of all. You choose one. One is your primary, whatever
Okay.
it is. It can be TikTok, could be Instagram, YouTube, I don't care. Whatever it is, that's your primary. And then whatever you post on your primary, repurpose it to Instagram or TikTok, depending on what your primary is. Repurpose to YouTube Shorts. And as far as long form YouTube content, yes, it's great. However, it takes an exceptionally long time
Yeah.
to edit. So if you aren't 100% sure if that's something you want to do, get your subscriber number up to at least 1,000 followers using YouTube Shorts that you've repurposed from other platforms. And that's at least going to get you on track closer to monetization before you begin doing all of that editing for long form content. So you don't have to be everywhere because you literally can't. It's not possible. Just repurpose. Make it easy on yourself.
Right. And YouTube Shorts is like Reels. It's all the same thing, kind of, right?
Yep,
Kind of. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm learning too about doing
Hmm.
the podcast. Actually,
Yeah.
this app Riverside
Yeah,
is really good. It does a lot of the work for you.
that's amazing. I've heard good things about
Yeah.
Riverside. I've like used it as a guest, but I've never used it as a host. So
Yeah.
I'll have to test it out sometime.
Pre-populates shorts and gives
Love that.
you caption, like, different style captions, and picks out areas of the podcast that they thought were interesting, and it's pretty cool.
That's fantastic. Love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, which is actually kind of what I was gonna ask next, which
Yep.
is, have you been able to utilize the thing that everyone's talking about, AI,
Yeah.
into your processes in terms of marketing
Mhm.
or creating content, or like anything along the lines of AI, or any type of use? Because there's so many types of
There's so
uses.
many. Yeah, absolutely. It's such a hot topic right now. Yes. So I'm very much the type of person where if there is a new tool available to me, I
Mhm.
need to learn how to use it. So I know that AI in its current form factor is not going to duplicate my efforts as a human, but it might help me 25%. Maybe I'm a person plus 25%. Great. Love that for me. So what we use AI for at the creative agency is a few different things. Automation, we do a lot of automation with it, which has allowed us to grow our business a lot. I'm big on
Mhm.
automation. I'm a big on systems. Like it's very important to have systems in place and automation in place because there's only so many hours in the day and
For sure.
we're a team of, there's 5 of us. Like there's only so much we can do. So, as far as systems, we're deeply integrated with AI. As far as marketing and outreach, so some of the negotiation, what's really fun is if I'm ever stuck, like I'm in the middle of a negotiation and a brand is bringing something to me and I'm debating how to respond, I'm debating some ideas. What I usually will do is, for instance, I'll go to like Claude or Chat and I'll be like, hey, I'm trying to, this is what I want to say. Help me think about what that might look like in an email. And so it'll give me suggestions. And even if I
Yeah.
don't use the email in its entirety, it at least helps me kind of think it through. And I really enjoy that kind of like being able to bounce those ideas back and forth. I think that's extremely helpful. And I do that for just like if I'm thinking about an idea for growing the business, I'll be like, hey, I have this idea about this thing, like bounce this idea back and forth with me. And then as far as creation, content creation, there's a couple ways that we're using AI right now. And so I think one of the big things is thinking about concepts. So when we are brainstorming concepts for campaigns, we're like, okay, I need to do a holiday campaign with a creator who focuses on cooking. Let's brainstorm some ideas that are very relevant to this creator. And so it'll come up with some ideas that just kind of get you thinking about what
Yeah.
could be next. And you're not like obviously copying and pasting exactly what's there because,
No.
it's only so good, but it's a great jumping off point. It's a great way to brainstorm and really just deep dive. And that's what I always say about AI. It's a tool to be used. It's not a replacement for these things.
100%.
And then I have dabbled with using AI for like voiceover stuff. So like giving it samples of my
Interesting.
voice and then having
Yeah.
it do voiceovers. It's very interesting. Some are better than others. But yeah, that's kind of the main way that we integrate AI in our processes right now. And we're always looking for different ways to do that.
Nice. Yeah, there's so many ways to use it, and I think, like you said, it's a great way to kind of get the ball rolling on something you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Like, it just, like, expedites the initial idea into something that might
Yes.
be more tangible, quantifiable, not just,
Exactly.
"Here's an idea, now what do I do with it?" Now you can get some feedback instantly from an expert of sorts. Now,
Yeah.
it's not really a person, but
Yeah,
it does
pulling
know a lot.
information. Yeah, it's pulling information from sources. Like earlier today,
Exactly.
I was having a trouble with my email
Mhm.
where some of our emails were getting sent to spam, and I was like, "Oh, what the heck is going on?" And so I like went back and forth with chat, and it gave me the steps to fix the issue. And so I
And it
didn't have to
worked?
Google all the individual steps, and it worked. And I was like, "Great, solid. This would have taken me like 2 days to figure out on
I
my
love
own.
that.
So it took me like an hour. So
I
perfect."
love that. And I'm also a DIY guy myself, so if I ever have something that's not on YouTube or, or I'm working on my car or something,
Hmm.
there are an infinite library of answers that are out there, and it's really, I mean, it's a great time to be someone like that, to be curious because you're able to fully explore that thought or
Hmm.
topic in a way that's actually useful.
It is. It's almost like you can almost hash it out enough that you can see if something is viable to
Yeah,
take it to the next
that's
step,
what I'm saying.
right? Like, so if I ever have this idea, which I'm always full of just wild ideas. My poor team, they're like, Taylor again. But I'm always full of these wild ideas. And so before I bring it to them, I'll like go into chat and be like, okay, am I crazy? Like, tell me, does this make sense? And then if it does, I'm like, hey, chat told me it was okay to tell
Yeah,
you
look,
this.
I'm backed up here. I have a support team.
Yeah, exactly.
I can share the thread with you to
Yeah.
if you need any more evidence.
Yes. Yeah, my poor ops manager. I'm just like copying and pasting chat conversations to her.
I love it. Great. So, kind of my last question was more about you as a founder. What's one lesson you've learned that's really shaped how you lead or create today that maybe you didn't know when you were first getting started?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I feel like it's been such a whirlwind. We never anticipated that it would get to where it is today. I mean, honestly, we didn't know that we'd be hiring people. Like that just never was a thing.
Yeah, it was just you and Megan
It was just us.
conquering the world together.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And so I think my biggest learning in all of this has been to trust where the business takes you. When we first started and we decided we wanted to do like this is going to be a business now. We originally were like we're going to do social media management for small brands. That was the original plan. And while we were trying to do that, we were like forcing it. We were like really trying to make that work. Influencer stuff was just like flowing to us. And
Oh,
we
okay. So you were trying to do something that you set out to do, but you were also getting all those influencers.
Exactly. So like one was like flowing easily and one we were like pushing against like, ocean. And so finally Megan and I sat down and we were like, maybe we should like explore this like influencer side a little bit more beyond just me. And we have followed of just wherever the business has led us over time and it has led us in the right direction. It's been so interesting. It kind of reminds me of like I don't know, like following your intuition or like going where,
Yeah,
things take you. But instead of trying to like force something that isn't working, just pivot, just move. Like it's okay. It's okay if the first idea doesn't work because that first idea is going to lead you to the next idea, which
exactly.
will work. So iteration and being willing to pivot and kind of like wholeheartedly dive into something that you're like, maybe scared to do even. Maybe you're like,
Mhm.
I don't know if this is going to work. Like this is kind of scary. Lean into that because you're never going to be ready for that next step in whatever it is as a business owner. You just have to do it. Like I say to Megan all the time and she's so funny. I'm the, like I said, I'm the big idea person and she's the please come back down to earth like a little bit Taylor. But I will be like, all right, I think we should do this. And Megan will be like, I'm scared, but I trust you. Let's do it. And so we do it. And it's really fun because it means we get to try out a lot of different things and see what works, see what resonates with our clients. And if the need isn't there, the need isn't there and move on.
Right. So it's a balance between being confident in what you're doing and taking that first stride towards whatever it may be, but also
Hmm.
being very flexible about
Yeah.
how it will end up and not being too stuck on something because you are confident in it. It doesn't mean that should be unconfident. It just means that it might change.
Yeah,
And if it
absolutely.
does, That's okay.
Yeah. You just fail forward. Every failure is a learning. It's not a failure.
That's how I go about my life as well.
It's a good way, I
I
think.
learn things the hard way, I guess what I always tell myself. Awesome. Well, it's been fun talking, getting to know
Yeah.
you, and hearing more about your business. Appreciate you being my second guest.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a really fun chat. Definitely, follow us on Instagram, the agency HQ. If you're interested in, talent management of any sort and you just want to jump on a discovery call, you can find more information on our Instagram. It's a really great way to find us. If you're a brand who is looking for either campaign support or working with influencers, we'd love to hear from you too. So, we're always around.
That's great. Thanks, Taylor.
Thank you.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah, me too. Sounds great. Thank you.